glowing with peace and kindness. I find it fitting to tell once again the story of that simple and illustrious night. Nigh on 2,000 years ago.
Perfect. Go to the station and wait for him there. He'll be there in a minute. Bye.
It's not the point, my dear. Suppose your parents are unhappy. It's good for them. It develops their characters.
Sybil Cartwright was the right out of Cyrus. It was the night before I left. She was wearing one of those cellophane dresses and you can absolutely see the whole square.
Don't tell me how you are, Sherry dear. I want none of the person details.
And I had the pleasure of student directing this show. This was an amazing cast of crew to do my last high school show with, and I'm so excited for you to see it. But first, a few housekeeping things. The exits are to the back and on the sides, and there will be a 15-minute intermission after Act 1 in which you go buy some baked goods at concessions, or buy some kisses for the cast, or use the bathroom, which is located to the back and down the left hallway. I'm so proud of how hard everyone worked on this show. So I'm very excited to present to you the man who came to dinner.
Oh, how is he? Is he coming out? Oh, what is it? What's the matter, John?
They want pillows. I'll get it.
Anything at all I can do to help you scream?
No, thank you.
Oh, don't call yourself a doctor in my presence!
Four more cablegrams and more packages. Dad's going crazy upstairs, that damn bell.
It's here. Oh, Julie, dear, were you answering the phone? What were you saying, Walter?
One of them is from New York, and the other one is from San Francisco.
There was something here from Alaska just earlier this morning.
Alaska? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm waiting.
Who is it?
Oh, doesn't that bird brain of yours ever function?
I'll get them right away. He wants some Players Club cigarettes.
Players Club?
They haven't got a kitchen, so I'll run down and get them.
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry.
Tell me, mystery. Are they? Is he coming out?
We're getting him out of bed now. He should be out shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. He must be so very happy.
Trapped like a rat in this hellhole!
2 o'clock? Yeah, I think he could talk then. Well, all right. Well, who do you think that was? Mr. H.G. Wells from London!
H.G. Wells on our telephone!
I'll go. This is certainly a busy house.
I got his orange juice. Oh, that is perfectly fine, Sarah. Is it fresh?
Yes, ma'am.
You move like a broke-down truck horse!
His voice is just Do you know what just happened?
I'll be upstairs, Mother, if you need me.
Oh, yes, and June, tell your father to come down straight away. Mr. Whiteside is coming out.
Yes, Mother. I brought him some flowers. Do you think it's all right if I give it to him?
Oh, I think that's just lovely.
And some calf's foot jewelry.
Oh, how nice. Girls, who do you think was just on that telephone? Mr. H.G. Wells, all the way from London. I mean, just look at all these cablegrams. Mr. Whiteside, he's had calls and messages from all over this country and in Europe. The New York Times, Dr. Bo Felix Frankfurter, the Mount Wilson Observatory. I'm just so exhausted. There's so much going on.
There's a big piece about it this week's Times. Have you read it?
No. Really?
Your name's in it too, Daisy. Listen. Portly Sheridan Whiteside, critic, lecturer, wit, radio orator, intimate friend of the great and near great, last week found his celebrated wit no weapon with which to combat an injured hip. The Falstaffian Mr. Whiteside, trekking across the country on one of his annual lecture tours, met his Waterloo in the shape of a small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley in Visalia, Ohio. Result: canceled lectures and disappointment to thousands of adoring clubwomen in Omaha, Denver, and points west. For the result, he idled the airwave, dressed until further notice of the home of surprised Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. Possibility: Christmas may be postponed this year. What's that mean?
A small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Think of it.
Of course, if it were my house, Daisy, I'd put a bronze plate on the step, right where he fell.
Of course, I just felt simply terrible about the entire situation. I mean, Mr. Whiteside, he never comes out to dinners anywhere. And he finally agreed to come here. And of course, this just had to happen. Poor Mr. Whiteside. But it's going to be just lovely having him here with us. Even if it is just for a little while. Think of it. We will sit around in the evenings and we will discuss books and plays and all of the great people he's known. And he'll talk in that wonderful way of his own. Oh, he may even read Goodbye, Mr. Chips to us.
Daisy, I can't wait any longer. If Mr. Whiteside... Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Ernest, who do you think was just on that telephone? Mr. H.G. Wells, all the way from London. And just look at all these packages and cablegrams, and we are in the time. Look.
I don't want this kind of publicity at all, Daisy. When do you suppose he's going to leave?
Well, he certainly had quite the shock, Ernest. He's just getting out of bed this morning. He'll need a few days rest.
Well, I'm sure it's a great honor, him being in the house and all. But it is getting a little upsetting. Phone going all the time, bells ringing, messenger boys coming in and out.
Pardon me, Miss Stanley, have those cigarettes come yet?
Why, yes, Miss Cutler, my son just went out to get them.
Thank you.
Everyone, this is Miss Maggie Cutler, Mr. Whiteside's secretary.
How do you do? May I move this chair?
Why, you mean he's coming out now?
He is indeed.
He's coming out?
I can hardly wait.
Oh, June, Mr. Whiteside's coming out!
Mr. Whiteside's coming out.
Oh, I'm just so tired. I don't know what to do.
I know I can simply
Oh,
just...
gosh, Dr. Bradley, come right in, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Well, here we are, merry and bright. Real patient out, Miss Green.
I may vomit.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Whiteside, sir. Can you hear me? My name is Mrs. Ernest Stanley. Do you remember me? And this is my husband, Mr. Stanley.
How do you do, Mr. Whiteside? I hope that you're better.
Thank you. I am suing you for $150,000.
How's that? What?
I said I am suing you for $150,000.
You mean because you fell on our steps, Mr. Whiteside?
Samuel J. Leibowitz will explain it to you in court. Who are those two harpies standing there like a kiss of death?
My calf's foot jelly.
Made from your own foot, I have no doubt. Now, Miss Stanley, I have a few small matters I'd like to take up with you. Since this coroner druggist at my elbow informs me that I am to be confined to this moldy mortuary for at least another 10 days, due entirely to your stupidity and negligence, I will have to carry out my activities as best I can. I will require the exclusive use of this room, as well as that drafty sewer that you call a library. I want no one to come in or out while I'm in this room.
What do you mean, sir?
But we have to use the stairs to get to our bedrooms, Mr. Whiteside.
Is there a back entrance?
Yes.
Then use that. I will also require a room for my secretary, Miss Cutler. Let me see. I have many incoming and outgoing calls, so please, no one use the telephone. I sleep until noon. I must have quiet throughout the house until that hour. There will be 5 for lunch today. Where is the cook?
Mr. Whiteside, I may interrupt for a moment.
You may not, sir. Will you get your clammy hands off my chair? You have the touch of a sex-starved cobra. Now, will you all please leave quietly, or must I ask my secretary to pass among you with a baseball bat?
Well, Daisy, we'll call you. Oh, no, we must use the phone. Well, we'll see you. Goodbye.
Now look here, Mr. Whiteside.
There is nothing to discuss, sir. Considering the damage I've suffered at your hands, I am asking very little. Good day.
I'll call you from the office later, Daisy.
Not on this phone, please. Miss Stanley, on the desk you'll find the menu for lunch.
I assure you I've already ordered lunch, Mr. Whiteside.
It will be brought up to you on a tray. I need the dining room for my guests. Where are those cigarettes?
My son just, I don't know where he, Sarah, somewhere here is the menu for lunch. I'll take mine upstairs. Tray.
Young lady, I cannot stand the decision. We would either go up those stairs or come down.
Oh, Richard, dear. Come on.
Oh my God. How long stories? Here's the secrets you asked for. I'm sorry, I had to cut it 3 different, 30 different.
You are gone long enough to have a baby!
Come on.
Does any man suffer as I do from the gross inadequacies of the human race? Where do you think you're going? Go in and read the life of Florence Nightingale and learn how unfitted you are for your chosen profession.
Well, I think I can safely leave Miss Cutler's capable hands. Shall I begin this afternoon?
If you do, I will spit right in your eye.
What a sense of humor your writers have. By the way, it isn't really worth mentioning, but I've been doing a little writing myself about my medical experiences.
I'd be spared nothing.
Would it be too much to ask you to glance over it while you're here?
Trapped.
Well, I just happen to have a copy with me. Story of a humble practitioner for 40 years in Ohio, doctor.
Oh, I'll drop everything.
Thank you, and I hope you like it. Well, see you all tomorrow. Keep that hip quiet, and don't forget little pills. Goodbye.
Maggie, will you take 40 years below the navel or whatever it's called?
Well, I certainly must say, Sherry, you have behaved in all of your accustomed grace and charm.
Look here, Puss. I am in no mood to discuss my behavior, good or bad. I had no desire to cross this cheerless threshold. I was hounded and badgered into it. I now find myself, after 2 weeks of racking pain, accused of behaving without charm. What would you have me do? Kiss them?
Very well, Sherry. After 10 years, I should have known better than to try and do anything about your manners. But perhaps when I give up this job, I'll write a book about it all. Through the years, with Prince Charming.
Listen, repulsive. You are tied to me by an umbilical cord made of piano wire. Now, if we may dismiss the subject of my job, which incidentally I am paid $1,500 per appearance, we may possibly get to work. Oh no, we can't. Yes?
My name is Harriet Stanley. Oh, I know you are Sheridan Whiteside. I saw Miss Holly burn green against the pine trees. Oh, I remembered what she had written about Tess and Jude the Obscure. Oh, it was the nicest present I could bring you.
Good God, what was that?
That was Mr. Stanley's sister, Harriet. I've talked to her a few times. She's white.
Strange. She's run out of the Hound of the Baskervilles. I've seen that face somewhere before.
Nonsense, you have.
Oh well. Here, press this into the doctor's book. I see no reason I should endorse maiden-form brassieres.
Here are a few telegrams.
What's the date on this?
December 10th.
Send a wire to Columbia Broadcasting. You can schedule my Christmas Eve broadcast from the New York studio, as I shall proceed east instead of returning to Hollywood. Stop. For my New Year's Eve broadcast, I shall have as my guests Joshua Heifetz, Catherine Cornell, Schiaparelli, the Lumps, and Dr. Hallie Celeste. Whiteside.
Are you sure you'll be all right by Christmas, Sherry?
Oh, of course I will. Send a wire to Mahatma Gandhi, Bombay, India. Dear Boo Boo, schedules changed. Can you meet me Calcutta, July 12th for dinner, 8:30, Whiteside. Editor of the Atlantic Monthly. Don't worry, Stinky, copy will arrive, Whiteside. Arturo Toscanini. Where is he?
Oh, I'll find him.
Counting on you, January 4th, Metropolitan Opera House, for my semi-annual benefit for paroled convicts. As you know, it's a worthy cause and very close to my heart. Martinelli and Flagstaff have promised me personally to appear. You have a quiet supper with me and Ethel Barrymore afterwards. Whiteside. If it's for Miss Stanley, tell them she's too drunk to talk.
Hello. Yes. Hollywood.
If it's Sam Goldwyn, hang up.
Hello, Banjo.
Banjo? Oh, give me that phone.
Banjo, you're so-and-so. How are you, darling?
Come on, give me that.
Shut up, Sherry.
Are you coming to stand up? Oh, I miss you. Oh, he's going to live.
Stop dribbling and give me the
As
phone.
a matter of fact, he's screaming at me now. Here he is.
How are you fawns behind, and what are you giving me for Christmas? Oh, what news, Banjo, my boy? How's the picture coming? Our Wacko and Sloppo? No, I'm all right. Yes, I'm in very good hands. I've got the best horse doctor in town. How about yourself? Been having any fun? Playing any cribbage? You what? Well, don't take all of his money. Save some for me. You're what? Having your portrait painted by whom? Bill Gross? Not really. No, I go to Dartmouth for here from the drama festival. You wouldn't understand. Well, I can't spend my time talking to Hollywood riffraff. Kiss Llewellyn Parsons for me. Goodbye. He took $1,400 from Sam Goldwyn at cribbage last night. And Sam said, Banjo, I'm never playing garbage with you again.
What's all this about his having his portrait painted?
Salvador Dali. That's just what that face needs, a surrealist to paint it. What do you want now, Miss Bedpan?
It's your pills. One every 45 minutes.
And where were we?
There's a telegram here. That dear friend of yours, Miss Lorraine Sheldon.
Oh, let me see it.
Sherry, my poor, sweet lad, have been in Scotland on a shooting party with Lord and Lady Cunard, and only just of your poor, sweet tip. And down here in Surrey with Lord Bottomley and sailing Wednesday on the North, and cannot wait to see my poor, sweet Sherry, your blossom girl, Lorraine. In the words of the master, I may vomit.
Don't be bitter, puss. Just because Lorraine is more beautiful than you are.
Lorraine Sheldon is a very fair example of that small but vicious cycle you move in.
Your sex jealousy if I ever saw it. Now give me the rest of those.
Lorraine Sheldon, or possibly my Aunt Fanny.
Oh, it's from Destiny's Tot.
Oh, England's little rover boy.
Mm-hmm. Dear baby's breath. What's this I hear about a hip fracture and some bordello brawl? Does this mean our Hollywood Christmas party's off? Just wrapped up the play and Pago, and it was superb. Myself and a ukulele leave Honolulu tomorrow in that border. By the way, the Sultan of Zanzibar wants to meet Ginger Rogers. Let's face it, Oscar Wilde.
My, he does travel, doesn't he? You know, it would be nice if the world went around Beverly Carlton for a change.
Hollywood next week. Why couldn't he stop by his way from New York? Send him a cable. Beverly Carlton, Royal Hawaiian Hotel, Honolulu. If these people intend to have their friends using the front door...
What do you expect them to do? Use a rope ladder?
I will not have a bunch of mildewed bus bags running in and out of here while I am...
Good morning, Mr. Jefferson. Good morning, John.
There's nobody home! The Stanleys have been arrested for bootlegging! Go away!
Good morning, Mr. Whiteside. I'm Jefferson, Solid Journal.
Get rid of them.
I'm sorry, Mr. Whiteside is seeing no one.
Really?
So will you please excuse us? Good day.
Mr. Whiteside seems to be sitting up and taking notice.
I'm afraid he's not taking notice of the Massalia Journal.
You know, if I'm to be insulted, I'd like to be by Mr. Whiteside himself. I never did like carbon copies.
Will you please leave?
How about an interview, Mr. Whiteside?
I never give them. Go away.
Mr. Whiteside, if I don't get this interview, I lose my job.
And that would be quite all right with me.
You don't mean that, Mr. Whiteside. You used to be a newspaperman yourself. You know what editors are like. Mine's the toughest one that ever lived.
If you won't get around me that way, if you don't like him, get off the paper.
Well, yes, but I happen to think it's a good paper. William Allen White could have gotten out of Emporia, but he didn't.
You have the effrontery, in my presence, to compare yourself to William Allen White.
Only in the sense that White stayed in Emporia, and I want to stay here and say what I want to say.
Such as what?
Well, I can't put it into words, Mr. Whiteside. It sounds like an awful lot of hooey. But the Journal is my father's paper. It's kind of a sentimental point to be the paper. I'd like to carry on where he left off.
So you own the paper?
That's right.
I see. So this terrifying editor, this dread journalistic apocalypse is you yourself?
In a word, yes.
In the future, Sherry, please let me know when you don't want to talk to people. I'll usher them right in.
Young man, come over here. I suppose you've written that novel?
No, I've written that play.
Well, I don't want to read it. My old eyes see a box of goodies over there. Oh, bring them to me.
The trouble is, Mr. Whiteside, that your being in this town comes under the heading of news. Practically the biggest news since the Depression. So I've just got to get a story.
Oh, pecan butternut fudge.
Oh my, Mr. Whiteside, you mustn't eat candy. It's very bad for you.
My great Aunt Jennifer ate an entire box of candy every day of her life. And she lived to be 102. And 3 days after she died, she looked better than you do now. You were saying, old fellow?
I can at least report to my readers that chivalry is not yet dead.
We won't discuss it. Well, now that you've won me with your pretty ways, what would you like to know?
How about a brief talk on famous murders? You're an authority on murder. It's a fine art.
Young man, when I talk about murder, I get paid for it. I made more money off that Snyder Gray case than the lawyers did. So they're not expecting it out of me for nothing.
Well, then what do you think of Massalia? How long are you going to be here? Where are you going? Things like that.
Very well. A. Massalia is a town of irresistible charm. B. I cannot wait to leave it. And C. I go to Crockfield from here for my semi-annual visit to Crockfield Home for Paroled Convicts. for which I have raised over $500,000 over the past 5 years. From there, I go to New York. Have you ever been to Cropfield, Jefferson?
I'm not sure I have. I always meant to.
As a newspaperman, you ought to go. Instead of wasting your time talking to me. It's only about 75 miles from here. You know the story of how Cropfield saw it.
I'm not sure I do.
Get comfortable, Jefferson. It is one of the most touching and endearing stories of our time. One misty St. Valentine's Eve, the year was 1901, a little old lady who had given her name to a generation, Victoria, lied dying in Windsor Castle. Maud Adams had not yet caused every young heart to swell as she tripped across the stage as Peter Pan. Irving Berlin had not yet written the first notes of a ragtime rigadoon that would send the nation's feet a-tapping, and Elias P. Cropfield was just emerging from the state penitentiary. Destitute, embittered, cruel of heart, he wandered on this St. Valentine's Eve into a little church. There was no godliness in his heart, no prayer upon his lips. In the faltering twilight, Elias P. Cropfield made his way towards the poor box. With callous fingers, he ripped open the poignant testimony of a simple people's faith. Greedily, he clutched a few pitiful coins within. And then, a child's wavering treble broke the twilight stillness. "Please, Mr. Man," said a little girl's voice, "would you be my Valentine?" Elias P. Cropfield turned. Before him, a bewitching creature of 5. Her yellow curls cascading over her shoulders like a golden Niagara, and in her tiny, outstretched hand, a humble Valentine. In that one crystal moment, a sealed door opened in the heart of Elias P. Cropfield, and in his mind was born an idea. 25 years later, 3,000 ruddy-cheeked convicts were gambling on the broad lawns of Cropfield Cove, frolicking in the cool depths of their swimming pool, broadcasting their own symphony orchestra on their own radio station. Elias P. Cropfield has long since gone to his maker, but the little girl of golden curls, now grown to lovely womanhood, is known as the Angel of Cropfield, for she is the wife of the warden. And in the main hall of Cropfield home, there between a Rembrandt and an El Greco, in a simple frame, hangs a humble Valentine.
And in the men's washroom, every Christmas Eve, the ghost of Elias P. Cropfield appears in one of the booths. Will you sign this, please?
This aging debutante, Jefferson, I keep in my employ, for she is the sole support of her two-headed brother.
Yes, I understand. Thank you very much, Mr. Whiteside. It's been an honor meeting you. You've been very kind. By the way, I'm a cribbage player, if you ever need me while you're out there.
Very well. How much can you afford to lose?
I usually don't.
We won't discuss it. Come back at 8:30. We'll play 3 hands with Elsie Dinsmore.
Sherry!
Mets! Oh, Mets, you incredible beetle hound! What are you doing here?
I'll explain, Sherry. First, I kissed my little Maggie.
Let's, darling, what a wonderful surprise.
The enchanted Mets. Jefferson, you are standing in the presence of Professor Adolph Metz. He is the world's greatest authority on insect life.
How do you do?
How do you do? Well, Sherry,
Oh, Metz, stop staring at me adoringly and tell me why you're here.
you're 6, Sherry, so I've come to cheer you.
Jefferson, he spent 2 years in a cave with nothing but plant lights. He writes 3 pages in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Don't you, my little hookworm?
Oh, please, Sherry, you embarrass me. Look, I brought you a present to while away the hours. Please. I said to my students, boys and girls, I need to get a present for my sick friend, Sheridan Whiteside. Do you know what he did? He made a community of Paraplenta Americana, commonly known as the American cockroach. Behold, Sherry, Roach City! Inside here are 10,000 cockroaches.
10,000? Sarah, what do you think?
And for you, Sherry, if all goes well, there'll be 50,000.
If all goes well. What do you mean? They're in there, aren't they?
Quiet, please!
Look here, it's a maternity hospital. It's fascinating. They do everything human beings do.
Well,
Maggie, please. These are my cockroaches.
Sorry.
Go on, Bess.
Please hear from Sherry. You can listen in on their mating calls. Listen.
How long has this been going on?
Paraplegia Americana, there's cockroaches in this house.
I beg your pardon! Oh, Mr. Whiteside, I do not know who this man is. I cannot think I'm going to stand here and allow
Then go upstairs! Are those my luncheon guests? That's your stay for the day, of course.
Certainly.
Jefferson, stay for lunch.
Glad to.
Maggie, tell them there'll be 2 more. Baker? Oh, come in, Baker. Good morning, gentlemen. Jefferson, these are the fruits of that humble Valentine. These fine men are currently spending the final months of their prison sentences, and they have decided to enter the ivory-covered walls of Crockfield Home. They've come here today to learn a bit of its tradition from me. Gentlemen, I envy your great embarrassment. You're Michelson, aren't you? Butcher shop murders? Thought I recognized you. Oh, and here on the end, Jefferson, is Henderson. Always used to chop them up in a salad bowl, remember?
Oh, yes.
Lunch is ready, Mr. Whiteside.
Good. Right this way, gentlemen.
Can I help you?
Thank you. We are having chicken liver tetrazzini and cherries jubilee for dessert. I hope every little tummy's aflutter with gastric juices.
Sir, I just...
John, close the door, will you? We don't want these people preying on their betters.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I was dreaming of Lillian Russell. I wake to find you.
Your medicine, Mr. Whiteside.
What time is it?
6:30.
Where's Miss Cutler?
She went
Out?
with Mr. Jefferson.
Mind if I turn the lights up, Mr. Whiteside?
Yes, go ahead, John.
Sarah has something for you, Mr. Whiteside. Made it special.
She has. Where is she? My souffle queen.
Here I am, Mr. Whiteside.
She walks in beauty like the night. And in those deft hands, the art of Michelangelo. Let me taste the new goody.
I put a touch of absinthe in the dough. I hope you like it.
Hello,
And I got your terrapin Maryland for dinner.
Sarah, I have known but 3 great cooks in my time. The Khedive of Egypt has one. My great Aunt Jennifer another. And the third, Sarah, is you.
Oh, Mr. Woodside.
How would you feel about coming to work for me in New York? You and Johnny.
Why, Mr. Whiteside?
Sarah,
Why, it kind of takes my breath away.
but what would we say to Mr. and Mrs. Stanley?
Just goodbye.
But they'd be awfully mad, wouldn't they? They've been very kind to us.
Well, if they're ever in New York, we can have them for dinner. As long as I'm not in town. Now run along and think it over. This is our little secret, okay? Just between us. Oh, and put extra sherry and paraffin. Miss Crane! Miss Crane!
Yes, sir.
What have you got there anyway, sailor?
I was just washing my hands, Mr. Whiteside.
What time did this cutler go out?
A couple hours ago.
Mr. Jefferson called for her?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go back to your sex life.
Dear Mr. Whiteside! May I show you a few mementos from the past? I somehow feel that you will love them as I do.
Certainly. Miss Stanley, have we met somewhere before?
Oh no, I would have remembered. It would have been one of my most cherished memories. Like these. Oh, look, here I am with my first sweetheart. Under a lovely beach with trees. I was 8 and he was 10. Oh, I have never forgotten him. Oh, what happy times we had!
I tell you, I'm going to!
There's someone coming. I'll be back.
Ernest, dear, please.
Mr. Whiteside, I want to
Oh, dear.
I don't care if you're busy or not. I have stood all I can stand.
Indeed.
I have just received a telephone bill for $784. Oklahoma City, Calcutta, Hollywood, Australia, Rome, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. Now, I realize, Mr. Whiteside, you're a distinguished man of letters.
Oh, yes, of course we both do.
Please. But in the past week, we've not been able to call our souls alone. We've not had a meal in the dining room once. I had to tiptoe out of the house in the morning.
Oh, Ernest, please.
Oh, I come home to find convicts sitting at my dinner table. Butcher shop murderers. A man putting cockroaches in the kitchen.
No, they've just escaped, Ernest.
That's not the point. I go into my bathroom and I bump into 22 Chinese students who invited me here. I tell you, I won't stand it, no matter who you are.
Have you quite finished?
No, I have not. I go down into the cellar and I trip over the octopus William Beebe sent you. I won't stand it, Mr. Whiteside. I want you to leave this house as soon as you can and go to hotels. Stop calling me Daisy. That's all I've got to say, Mr. Whiteside.
And quite enough, I should think. May I remind you again, Mr. Stanley, that I am not a willing guest in your house. My doctor tells me that I must remain quiet for another 10 days, at which time I will get out of here so fast that the wind will knock you over. I hope that if, however, you insist on me leaving before then, therefore causing me to suffer a relapse, I will sue you for every additional day that I am held in act, which I assure you will add up to a tidy sum.
This is outrageous! Outrageous!
As for your petty complaints, those 22 Chinese students had come straight from the White House, where I assure you they used the bathroom too.
Now, Mr. Whiteside, I assure you my husband did not mean to.
Yes, I did. I meant every word of it.
There is only one point that you make in which I see some slight justice. I do not expect you to pay for my telephone calls. I shall see to it that restitution is made. Can you provide me with the exact amount?
I certainly can, and I certainly will. Good.
I'll instruct my lawyers to deduct it from the $150,000 that I am suing you for.
No, Ernest, please.
Oh, and I'll beg you not to trip over that octopus. which once belonged to Chauncey DePew.
Ernest, dear, you mustn't get excited. Remember, Mr. Whiteside is a guest here.
Hello, operator. Yes, can you give me the journal, please? Consolidated Journal? Tell me, is Mr. Jefferson there? What time are you expecting? No message. You two! Come over here. Come on, I'm not going to fight you. Now look here. I am by nature a charming and gracious person. 5 year at it is on the side of kindness and amiability. I've been observing you two for the past few days. It seems to me that you are both extremely likable young people. I'm afraid that when we first met, I was definitely unpleasant to you. For that, I am sorry. I hope in the future you will not look at me like something out of an Edgar Allan Poe. How do you like my new tie?
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. This makes things much pleasanter. And I think the tie is very pretty.
Well, Mr. Whiteside, now that we're on speaking terms, I don't mind telling you that I've been admiring all your ties.
Do you like this one?
Well, yes, I certainly do, Mr. Whiteside.
It's yours. Really, this curious legend that I am a difficult person is your fabrication. Ice skating, eh?
Yes.
Me, I used to cut the grapes myself, arm in arm with Betsy Ross, waving the flag behind us.
Well, it was wonderful on the ice today. Miss Cutler and Mr. Jefferson were there.
Maggie, ice skating.
Yes, I did a picture of her, too.
Were they still there when you left?
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were. Speaking of pictures, Mr. Whiteside, I was actually wondering if I could get a picture of you myself.
All right. Do you want my profile?
Well, I'm afraid you're done for, Mr. Whiteside. My brother really is a camera fiend.
Hello there.
Hello, Miss Cutler.
Good evening, Sherry.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. I gotta go.
Really, Sherry, you've got this place looking like an old parrot cage.
Good evening.
Did you not blow us out? What's the matter, dear? Having a way with your tongue.
Don't look at me with those great cow eyes, you sex-ridden hag. Where have you been, all out? Alley-catting around with Bert Jefferson?
Oh, Sherry, Bert read me his play this afternoon, and it's superb. It isn't just a play written by a newspaper man. It's superb. I want you to read it tonight. It just cries out for a cornet. Will you send it to her? I'm going to read it tonight.
No, I will not read it tonight, or any other time. While we are on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, you might ask him if he would like to pay your salary, since he is taking out all of your time.
Oh, come now, Sherry. It isn't as bad as all that.
I haven't even been able to reach you, not knowing which haylofts you frequent.
Stop behaving like a spoiled child, Sherry.
Do not take that patronizing tone with me, you bleeding Cleopatra. I am sick and tired of you sneaking out of here every time my back is turned like some kind of lovesick high school girl.
Well, Sherry, I'm afraid you hit the nail right on the head.
Stop acting like Zazu Pitts and explain yourself.
Very well, Sherry. I'll make it quick. I'm in love.
Nonsense. This is merely delayed puberty.
No, Sherry, I'm afraid this is it. You're going to lose a very excellent secretary.
You have lost your mind.
Yes, I suppose I have a little, but I'm the girl who's waited a long time for this to happen to her. And now it has. Bert Jefferson doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
Is that all?
Yes, well, and I suppose this could be considered my resignation, as soon as you've got somebody else, of course.
Listen, Maggie. You and I have been together for a very long time. You're indispensable to me, but I am not unselfish enough to let that stand in the way where your happiness is concerned. Because whether you know it or not, I have a deep affection for you.
Well, I know that, Sherry.
That being said, I am not going to stand by and let you make a fool of yourself.
I'm not Sherry.
But you are, my dear. You're behaving like a Booth Tarkington heroine. It's incredible. I cannot believe that a girl who for the past 10 years has had the great of the world served up to her on a platter. I cannot believe that it's anything but a temporary insanity. That you are swept off your feet in 7 days by a second-rate small-town newspaper ad.
Sherry, I can't explain what's happened. I can only tell you that it is so. It's hard for me to believe too. Here I am, a hard, bitten old cynic, behaving like a true story magazine, and liking it, discovering the moon, and ice skating. I keep laughing at myself all the time, but there is Sherry. What can I do? I'm in love.
We're leaving here tomorrow. Hip or no hip, we are leaving here tomorrow. I don't care if I fracture the other.
It's no good, Sherry. It's no good. I'll be back on the next streamline train.
It is completely unbelievable. Can you see yourself? The wife of the editor of the Massalia Journal having a dinner at the home for Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, Mr. and Mrs. Poopface, and the members of the Book of the Month Club.
Sherry, we've had 10 of great figures together. And don't think I'm not grateful to you for it. They've been wonderful years, Sherry. Gay and stimulating. But a girl can't laugh all the time, Sherry. There comes a time when she wants Bert Jefferson. You don't know Bert like I do, Sherry. He's kind and he's unassuming. And well, I love him. And that's all.
I see. Well, I remain completely unconvinced. You are drugging yourself into this Joan Crawford fantasy. And before you become completely anesthetized, I am going to do everything I can to bring you to your senses.
Now listen to me, Whiteside. I know you lay off. I know what a W can be. I've seen you do it to other people, but don't you dare do it to me. Don't drug yourself into the idea that all you're thinking of is my happiness. You're thinking of yourself too. And all those months of breaking in something new, I've seen you in a passion before when you could die in Calcutta on July 12th with food. Well, that's too bad. But there it is. I'm going to marry Bert if he'll have me. And don't you dare try any of your tricks. I'm on to every one of them, so lay off. That's my message to you, big Lord Fauntleroy.
Operator, long distance, please. I'd like to put in a transatlantic call. Hello? Transatlantic operator? Yes, this is Massalia 142. I'd like to speak to a Miss Lorraine Sheldon. She's on the Normandy. It sailed from Southampton the day before yesterday. Will it take long? All right, my name is Whiteside. Thank you.
Good evening, John.
Good evening, Doctor.
Well. Good evening, Mr. Whiteside.
Go away. I'm busy.
Now, what would be the best news I could possibly bring you?
You have hydrophobia.
No. Mr. Whiteside, you're a well man. You can give it a walk now. You can leave here tomorrow.
What do you mean?
Well, sir, I looked at those x-rays again this afternoon. Do you know what? I had been looking at the wrong x-rays. I had believed only some moth has x-rays. You were perfectly, absolutely well.
Lower your voice, will you?
What's the matter? Aren't you pleased?
Delighted, naturally. It's a very unexpected good news. Comes at a very curious time. Dr. Bradley, I have a good bit of news for you too. I have been reading a book for 40 years.
No, Herr Doctor, yes.
Yes. I consider it to be one of the greatest literary contributions of our time.
Mr. Whiteside.
So strongly do I feel about it, Doctor, that I have a proposition to make you. Here and there, the book is a little uneven. It's a bit rough. I would like to stay here in Upsala and work on it with you.
Mr. Whiteside, I'd be so terribly honored.
Yes. There is just one difficulty. If my lecture bureau or my radio sponsors were to learn that I am well, that they would insist on me fulfilling my contract, so I'd be forced to leave Massalia. Therefore, we mustn't tell anyone that I am ill.
I see.
No one at all. Not even Miss Cutler. Do you understand?
No, I won't. Not a soul. Not even my wife.
That's fine.
Well, Mr. Whiteside, when do we start work? Tonight, I just got one patient who's dying, and I'll be perfectly free.
Tomorrow morning. This is a private call. Do you mind? Hello? Yes, I'm on. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning it is. Good night. I'll be so proud to work with you. You can be very proud, Mr. Whiteside.
Yes, I know. Very proud. Hello? Put them through. Hello? Oh, is this my blossom girl? How are you, my lovely? No, I'm all right. Yes, still out here. Lorraine, dear, when do you land in New York? Tuesday? That's fine. Listen, my pet, I have an exciting bit of news. I have discovered a magnificent play with an enchanting part in it for you. Cornell would give her eye teeth to play, but I think I can get it for you. Now wait, listen. The author is a young newspaperman in this town. He wants Cornell, of course, but if you get on a train down here, I think you can swim. If you play your cards right. Just takes a little doing, that's all. You're the girl that can do it. Isn't that exciting, my pet? Yes. Oh, and look, don't send me any messages. Just get on the train and get out here. You don't need to thank me, my lovely. It is quite all right. Hurry out here and enjoy your trip. Thank you. Miss Green, you are looking radiant this evening.
Sherry, I'm sorry for what I said earlier. I'm afraid I was a bit unjust.
It's all right, Maggie. We all lose our tempers now and then.
I promised to go out to dinner with her and to see a movie after. Oh, come back and play cribbage with you instead.
That's fine.
All right, well, see you soon, Cher dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. We will now have a 15-minute intermission.
Okay, 6. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Why did you do this to me? I swear it's not right. I didn't do it.
Awesome. On the show.
Well, I guess that's all there is. Roll in.
Thank you, John.
My, I've never seen anyone get so many presents. I can't even wait to see what's in them.
When will Mr. Whiteside open?
Well, John, you see, Christmas is Mr. Whiteside's personal property. He invented it, and it belongs to him. First thing tomorrow morning, Mr. Whiteside will open each and every one of these presents. They'll be the goddamnest mess you ever saw.
My, look where he's got presents from. Shirley Temple, Billy Rose, Ethel Waters, William Lyon Phelps, Somerset Maugham. My, I can hardly wait for tomorrow. My, it certainly is wonderful, and Mr. Whiteside Street is so beautiful too. Mr. and Mrs. Stanley put theirs in the bedroom. They can hardly undress at night.
Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Jefferson.
Good evening, Maggie. Merry Christmas, Sarah.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Jefferson.
Say, this is good, isn't it? We live in quiet black and weekly radio hour we get you. What did the sponsors give him?
A full year's supply of the product, cream of mush.
Well, they'll give it right back to him, over the air.
Wait until you hear tonight's broadcast, old fellow. It's so sticky, I haven't been able to get it off my fingers since I copied it.
I'll bet. Look, I have to come clean. Under the influence of God knows what, I've just bought you a Christmas present.
Mr. Jefferson, sir.
Only I'd like you to come and see it before I throw away all my hard-earned money. Could you come downtown and take a look with me?
Bert, this is very sweet of you. I can't wait. I want to know what you got me.
It's a 2-year subscription. Pick, click, and look and listen. Say, don't you think I tell you? Come down and look.
All right. Sharon, I'm going out for a few minutes. Of course, really. I won't be long.
Noel, Mr. W. How about some cribbage after your broadcast tonight?
No, I will not play cribbage with you, Klondike Harry. Where are you off to now, Madam Butterfly?
I'm being given a Christmas present. Anything you want done downtown?
Yes, bring baby a lollipop. What are you giving me for Christmas, Jefferson? I've enriched your feeble life far beyond your capacity to repay me.
Yes, that's what I thought. So I'm not giving you anything.
I see. Well, I was going to give you my old trust, but now I shan't. What time are those radio men coming, Maggie?
About 6:30, but you've got to cut, Sherry. You're 4 minutes over. Oh, and there's a wire here from Beverly Carlton. He doesn't know what trains he can catch out of Chicago, but he'll be here sometime tonight.
Good. Is he staying the night?
No, he's got to get right out of it. He's sailing Friday on the Queen Mary.
Think I could peek in the window and get a look at him? Beverly Carlton used to be one of my heroes.
Used to be, you ink-stained hack. Beverly Carlton is the single greatest talent in the English theater today. Maggie, take this illiterate numbskull out of my sight, and do not bring him back.
Yes, Mr. Whiteside, I won't come back until Beverly Carlton gets here.
Where are we going, Bert? I want to know what you got me. I'm like a 10-year-old kid.
You know, Maggie, you look like a little kid right now at that.
Hello? Yes, can you give me the mansion house, please? No, I do not know the number. Hello? Mansion house? Yes, has Miss Lorraine Sheldon arrived yet? Yes, that's right, Lorraine Sheldon from New York. She hasn't, eh? you not knock before you come in a room?
I wasn't coming in, I was coming out.
Miss Green, you are obviously in this room. That is true, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but
Therefore, you came in. Hereafter, please knock.
There's an expressman here with a tray, Mr. Whiteside. I told him to come around the front.
Thank you, John. Don't just stand there, Miss Green. You look like frozen custard. Go away.
yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead. Careful now. Don't scrape the wall. Why? It's some kind of animal.
Well, I'll say it's animals. I took it about 7 o'clock this morning.
Who's it from, John?
Admiral Richard E. Bird. What's that?
Bring it here.
Hello, man.
Directions were feeding right on the top. Though 2 of those slates did get loose this morning. Oh. Well, we did have Coca-Cola this morning. Who left it? Anyway, have a good time.
Hello, hello, hello. You know, they make the most intransigent patterns. I want these from the library. Bring them right in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and better tell Sarah to order a couple dozen lobsters.
Yes, sir.
I don't suppose there's any whale blubber in this town.
Good evening.
Oh, yes, there is.
The door is open, so Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Doctor. You don't happen to know if eels are in season, do you?
How's that?
Never mind. I was a fool to ask you.
I opened those 2 slats a little, Mr. Whiteside. They just seem so cracked in there.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Whiteside.
Goodbye, Doctor. I'm sorry you haven't dropped in now. I have to do my yoga exercises.
But Mr. Whiteside, it's been a week now. My book, when are we going to start working on my book? I was hoping that today, maybe, evening is green.
Good evening, Dr. Bradley. Doctor, perhaps I'm not well, but when I opened the doors just now, I thought I saw a penguin with a thermometer in its mouth.
What's that? Are those penguins gotten out of their crate?
Penguins? Did you say penguins?
Yes, Dr. Bradley. Would you go and capture them for me, please? And put them back in their crate. There are 4 of them.
Capture penguins, yes.
Yes, and Miss Green, will you go entertain them until I come in?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Whiteside, the Christmas tree in the bedroom just fell on Mr. Stanley. I know he's got a big bump on his forehead.
Why, isn't that too bad? Go on, Miss Green.
Good evening, Mr. Whiteside.
Hello, Dickie, my boy.
Well, Mr. Whiteside, we have some time later.
I don't know, Doctor. I'm busy right now.
Well, I'll suppose wait a little while. I'll wait a little while.
Dr. Bradley is the greatest living argument for mercy killings. Well, Dickie, do you want a candid camera shot of my left nostril this evening?
Believe me, Mr. Whiteside, I've got plenty of those. Actually, I was wondering if you could take a look at some new ones I've taken.
Certainly. Why, these are splendid, Richard. There's real artistry in them. Why, they're as good as anything by Margaret Bjork White. I like everything you've shown me, Richard. This is the essence of photographic journalism.
Say, Mr. Whiteside, I didn't know that was good.
Richard, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. We're not just a kid fooling around with a camera anymore. These are good. But this is what you want to do. You want to do some of the things you were telling me about. Get on a boat and get off wherever it stops. Galveston, Mexico, Singapore. Work your way through and just take pictures. Millions of them. Wonderful pictures, terrible pictures, everything.
Say, wouldn't I like to do that though?
Why can't you do it? If I were your age, I'd do it like a shot.
Oh, you know why?
Richard, do you really want to do this more than anything else?
Yes, I certainly do, Mr. Whiteside.
Then do it.
Hello, Dick. Good afternoon, Mr. Whiteside.
Hello, my lovely. So I'm afraid it's up to you, Richard.
You're right, Mr. Whiteside. June, would you mind speaking to me in?
In a few minutes, Richard.
All right, well, when you're ready, just knock on the door.
Yes, of course. Mr. Whiteside.
June, my lamb, you were too young to remember the Elwell murders, weren't you? Completely fascinating. I have about 5 favorite murders. The Elwell case is one of them. Would you like to hear about it?
Well, actually, Mr. Whiteside, I was hoping we could talk for a moment. Would you mind?
Not at all. I take it it's got your young Lothario at the factory.
Yeah, I can't seem to make Father understand. It's like talking to a blank wall. He won't meet him. He won't talk about it. I don't know what to do, Mr. Whiteside. Sandy and I love each other. I don't know where to turn.
June, I'd like to meet this young man. I'd like to see him for myself.
Which really, Mr. Whiteside, he's in the kitchen now.
Good. Bring him in.
Mr. Whiteside, Sandy's a very sensitive boy. You will be nice to him, won't you?
God damn it, June. When will you learn? I am always kind and courteous. Bring that in either.
Sandy? Mr. Whiteside, this is Sandy.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do, young man? I've been hearing a good deal about you from June this past week. And it seems to me, if I've been correctly informed, you two babes in the woods have quietly gone out of your mind.
There's another name for it. It's called love.
Well, you've come to the right place. Dr. Sheridan Whiteside. Broken Heartsman, breaks me line, hamburgers. Go right ahead.
Well, if June has told you anything at all, Mr. Whiteside, you're not the gambler. You see, I work for the Lake Union, Mr. Whiteside. I'm an organizer. I've been organizing the men at Mr. Stanley's factory, and it's quite sore about it.
I'll bet.
Did June tell you that?
She did.
Well, that being the case, Mr. Whiteside, I don't think I have the right to try to influence June. If she chooses to marry me, that means a definite break with her family, and I don't like to bring that about. Mr. Stanley's just so stubborn, so arbitrary. This is not something I've done just to spite him. We fall in love with each other. Mr. Stanley acts as though we're all just a big plot. John L. Lewis and me here just to marry his daughter.
He's tried to fire Sandy twice out of the factory, but couldn't uncount the wagon act. Thank God.
Yes, he thinks I wrote that too.
If only he'd let me talk to him. If only he'd let Sandy talk to him.
We've already discussed all that, June. I just got word that in Chicago, and I might have to go into Frisco from here. So you see the gem.
Sandy's leaving tonight, and he'll probably be gone a year. We've simply got to decide now.
My dear, this is absurdly simple. It is no problem at all. Not to my jaundiced eye. Hello? Excuse me, it's a transatlantic call. Hello? Yes, this is Whiteside. Who's calling? Oh, put him on. It's Walt Disney in Hollywood. Hello? Hello? Walt? Oh, how's my little dash of genius? Yes, I hope you would. How did you know I was here? I see. Yes, I'm listening now. 10 seconds more. Mr. Disney calls me every Christmas. Yes, Walt, I hear it. It sounds just like static. June! Thank you, old man, and a Merry Christmas to you, too. Any news in Hollywood? Who's in Lana Turner's sweater these days? I see. Well, goodbye. And don't worry about Fantasia. It wasn't your fault. Beethoven hasn't had a hit in years. Goodbye. Do you know what that was you just listened to? The voice of Donald Duck.
Not really.
Mr. Disney calls me every Christmas, no matter where I am, so I can hear it. 2 years ago, I was at the bottom of the ocean in a diving suit with a million feet. But he got to me. Now, where were we? Oh, June. I like your young man. I have an unerring instinct about people. I've never been wrong. That's why I wanted to meet him. It's my feeling that you two will be very happy together. Whatever his beliefs are, he is entitled to them. You should not let anything stand in your way. It's absurdly simple, stripped of its externals. What does it come down to? The possibility of making him upset. Is that right?
Very upset.
That's not the point, my dear. Suppose your parents are unhappy. It's good for them. It develops their characters. Look at me. I left them at the age of 4. I haven't back since. They hear my voice on the radio, and that's good enough for them.
Then your advice is to go ahead, Mr. Whiteside?
It is. Marry him tonight, June.
You mean it, Mr. Whiteside?
Of course I mean. I mean you should marry Hamilton Fish. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't say it. What, do you want me to say it all over again? My own opinion is you're not worthy of this young man.
Stop dawdling.
There's Dad.
Forgive us for trespassing, Mr. Whiteside.
Not at all, old fellow. It's Christmas after all.
Yes, well, Merry Christmas.
June, dear, we're taking presents over to the Dexter house. Would you like to come?
No thank you, Mother. I have some letters to write.
Come on, Daisy.
Why, Mr. Stanley, what happened to your forehead? You have a little accident.
No, Mr. Whiteside. I'm taking boxing lessons. Come down. Come on, Daisy.
Dear Mr. Whiteside, I've been trying all day to see you, to give you this.
Miss Stanley, a Christmas gift for me.
Oh, it's only a trifle, but I wanted you to have it. Picture me as I used to be, taken on Christmas Eve many years ago. Oh, no. Don't open it. It's the stroke of midnight. Will you? Goodbye, dear Mr. Whiteside.
Goodbye, Miss Stanley. Thank you.
This is the Stanley residence, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Tell Mr. Whiteside Miss Lorraine Kelly is here.
Lorraine? Oh, my blossom girl.
Oh, Stanley, my sweet. Look at that poor, sweet, touched face. Let me kiss it. Oh, how drawn you are, Sherry. I just want to cry.
All right, you made quite an entrance. Now relax.
No, but I've been so worried. I've been seeing you in that chair.
This chair fits my fanny better than anything else ever has. I feel better than I have in years. My only concern is news of the outside world. So take that skunk off and tell me everything.
I'm so wonderfully you. Absolutely wonderful. I hope to see you better. Rather correct, darling. I just dashed for New York and do a thing about Christmas. Had a cardigan, got my hair done, got right on train. Oh, in London for that simply magnificent, my dear. Fun, you know, simply exhausting. Doc Whitney, Cary Grant, Peter Frazzo. It was too exhausting. Oh, and Normandy for that was so magnificent, my dear. I simply never got to bed at all. Oh, there's so much to tell you. I don't know where to begin.
We'll start with the dirt first, dear. That's what I want to hear.
Sybil Cartwright was thrown right out of Sideways. It was the night before that she was wearing one of those cellophane dresses, and you could absolutely see Trafalgar Square, and Sir Harry, not just the painter, you know, is suing his mother for disorderly conduct. We're just shocked about everyone. Oh, Anthony Eden says he's going to be involved in his broadcast charity. Oh, and Beatrice Lilly has a message for you. She's to drop £25 and send them to her by postal post. She needs them.
I'll pack them on ice. But how about yourself, my dear? How about your love life? I don't believe for one moment that you never got to bed at all, if you pardon the expression.
Sherry, you're dreadful.
How about that splendid bit of English Lord Bottomley? Haven't you hooked him yet?
Cedric is a very dear friend of mine.
Come on, Lorraine. This is Sherry. trying to pull the bedclothes over my eyes. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to be Lady Bottom. With 100,000 pounds a year and 12 castles. By the way, has he done anything about those teeth yet? Every time I order Roquefort cheese, I think of those teeth.
Cedric is a very dear friend of mine, and he's rather sweet, poor lamb. He's very fond of me, and he does represent the kind of English way of living that I like. Surrey in London for the season, shooting box in Scotland, that beautiful old castle in Wales. Now, Sherry, you've been there.
I certainly do.
Can I tell you something, Sherry? I think from something he said the night before I said that he might be coming around soon. Now, don't be surprised if I maybe got to me before very long.
Lady Bottomley. Why won't Kansas City be surprised? Though I shall be a flower girl and give the groom an iron toothpick as a wedding present. Now come, dear, let's hear more of your skullduggery.
Well,
No, not now, I'm busy!
who's that?
He's fixing the plumbing. Come on, dear, I want some news.
Really, Sherry? I mean, what about this play? I've been so excited since your phone call. Where is it? When can I read it?
Here's the situation. This young author, his name is Bert Jefferson. He brought me the play with the understanding that I sent it to Kit Cornell. It's a magnificent part. God knows I feel disloyal to Kit.
Sherry?
However, here you are. I've done this much, the rest is up to you. He's young and attractive. Just how you'll go about persuading him, I'm sure you know more about that than I do.
Darling, you're wonderful. Does he know that I'm coming? Mr. Jefferson?
No. You're just out here visiting me. You two will meet, and that's that. Get him to take you to dinner and work around with that. Good God, I don't have to tell you how to do these things. How did you get all those other parts?
Sherry? Well, I'm going to go back and put on something a little bit more attractive. I just dump my bags and rush right over here. Darling?
All right, run along and get to your working clothes. And come back and spend Christmas Eve with Sherry. I'll have Mr. Jefferson on tap. Oh, by the way, I have a bit of a surprise for you. Who do you think is paying me a flying visit this evening? None other than your old friend and co-star, Beverly Carlton.
Beverly? Really? I thought he was being glamorous on a tracksuit.
You mustn't be bitter just because you got better notices than you did.
Sherry, you know I never read notices. I just wouldn't care to ask him again is all. He's not staying here.
Temper. No, he's not. Where'd you get that diamond ring, dear?
Haven't you seen this before? Cedric gave it to me for his mother's birthday. She was simply furious. Look, I've got a taxi waiting outside.
Sherry, what do you think I've just been given most beautiful.
Hello, darling.
That Santa's been hard at work, my pet. Lorraine dropped in out of the blue and surprised us.
You must be around here somewhere. How are you, my dear?
Hello, Lorraine.
Who's that? Bert? Oh, come in, Bert. Bert Jefferson, young newspaper man. Miss Lorraine Sheldon.
How do you do, Miss Sheldon?
Very well, thank you. Oh, I didn't quite catch the name. Was that Jefferson?
That's right, my pet.
Well, you don't look like a newspaper man. You don't look like a newspaper man at all.
Really? I thought it was written all over me in neon lights.
No, I would have said you were more of a, I don't know, an aviator, an explorer. They have the same kind of dash about them. You know, I'm simply enchanted by your little town. It's got such a warm and gracious feeling. How have you lived your outer life?
Practically.
If you would like to hear the story of his life, Lorraine, kindly do so on your own time. Maggie and I have work to do. Get out of here, Jefferson. On your way, Blossom, on your way.
He is the world's rudest man. I'm headed back to the mansion house, I think it's called. Can I drop you?
Why, thank you, but I've got my car. Suppose I drop you?
That would be wonderful. I'll send a taxi off. Goodbye, Sherry. Goodbye, Maggie.
Goodbye, Maggie. Goodbye, Mr. Jefferson. Goodbye, Mr. Whiteside. I'm invited back for dinner, am I not?
Yes, Christmas, I always feed the needy. Now stop oozing out and get out.
I want to hear more about this little town. I want to hear a great deal about you too.
Is there a copy of that broadcast over here? How much did you say they wanted out? 4 minutes?
That's right. 4 minutes. She's looking well, isn't she?
What's that? Ooh,
The Countess de Pushover. Quite surprised, wasn't it, her just dropping in?
yes, it was.
You know, she must have gone through New York like a dose of salts. How long is she going to stay?
What? I don't know, a couple of days.
Because isn't it curious? There was Lorraine, snug as a bug in somebody's bed on the Normandy.
Ere the Yuletide season.
Now, Sherry, we will talk of it.
Now come on, Maggie. Just because a friend of mine happens to come out to spend Christmas with me. I have a hunch that's Beverly. Go see if it is. Go on. Run. Run.
Magpie!
Beverly!
A large, moist, incestuous kiss from a magpie.
Come in here, you Piccadilly pen pusher. Gaze upon a soul in agony.
Don't tell me how you are, Sherry dear. I want none of the tiresome details. I have only little time, so the conversation shall be entirely about me, and I shall love it. Shall I tell you how I glittered in the South Seas like a silver scimitar, or how I frolicked through Fantasia, making love to the Major General's daughter and finishing a 3-act play at the same time? Magpie, you are the moonflower of middle age. Say something tender to me.
Oh, Beverly, darling.
That's my girl. Now then, Sherry dear, without going into mountainous waves of self-pity, how are you?
I'm fine, you presumptuous cockney. How was your trip, wonderful?
It was fantastic. By the way, did I put the drawer butterfly like Sheldon in Mortar Cars?
I'm afraid you did. She's paying us a Christmas visit.
Dear, they do say she's got Irish for a mother, but I don't think it. Sherry, my evil one, not only heard it fine promises in the air, but an opera that frightens me so good, and my best ever sees the last one. I shall play 8 weeks in London and 6 in New York. That's all. No matinees. Then I'm off to the Grecian Islands. Magpie, why don't you come with me? Why don't you desert this cannonball of fluff and come with me instead?
Oh, Beverly, dear, do be careful. You're catching me at a good moment.
How was Hollywood, Beverly? How long were you there?
3 unbelievable days. I saw Adrian to Zenith. They came for courtiers as to the shrine, and I was insufferably charming and ruthlessly firm and refusing $7 million for 2 minutes.
Oh, how about banjo? Did you see my wonderful banjo in Hollywood?
I did. He gave dinner for me. I arrived in white tie and tails to be met by 2 bewigged butlers who quietly proceeded to take my trousers off. I was then ushered into a room full of Norma Shear, Claudette Cooper, and Alice, among others, dear, sweet, incomparable banjo.
Oh, I'll never forget that summer tea. When he put a microphone under Lorraine's mattress and played the record the next day at lunch.
I remember indeed. Lorraine has answered these benefits.
Oh, I wish Banjo were here now.
What's the matter, Magpie? Is Lorraine being old, sweet, sick-making?
Oh, you wouldn't take me to the Grecian Islands with you, would you, Beverly? Just for me.
Now come on, Lorraine is a charming person who has gallantly given up her Christmas to spend it with me.
Oh, I'm not going to jerk yourself, everyone.
Mr. Whiteside.
Go away! Yes, that's Charlie Ross. Now, come on. Is it something juicy?
Juicy as a pomegranate. Is the latest report from London on the winter mongrels that Miss Lorraine Sheldon against the left flank. In fact, all flanks of Lord Cedric Bottomley. Listen,
Lorraine has just left us in a cloud of Chanel number 5. Since September, in her relentless pursuit of his lordship, she has caused only to change girls and check her oil. She has chased him, panting, from castle to castle, till he finally took refuge for several weekends in the gentleman's laboratory of the House of Lords. Practically no one is betting on the Derby's here. We're all making book on Lorraine. She is sailing tomorrow on the Normandy, but will return of the Atlantic timber finally so much as belches in her direction. Have you ever met Lord Waterloo Magpie, dear?
No, I haven't.
Not very good shooting today, lass. Only 6 partridges, and the Duke of Sutherland.
Why, it's bottomless to its very bottoms.
Ripping debate in the house today. Old Basil spoke for 3 hours to drop dead at the end of it. Ripping.
You're making up, Beverly. Nobody sounds like that.
It's so good, it's uncanny. God damn it, Beverly, why must you rush out here? I've never seen enough of you.
I can only tell you that my love for you is so great that I switched trains at Chicago to spend 10 minutes with you and wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my lad, my little magpie. Definitely. Now I have time for one magnificent number. It's from my new reverie.
God damn it, get rid of the Maggie!
Hello. Yes. Oh, well, just a minute. Beverly, would you talk to a newspaperman down at the station for just 2 minutes? I kind of promised him.
I won't have time, magpie, unless he's under the record player.
Well, just a minute. Beverly, would you talk to him for just a moment before the train goes? Bert, go to the station and wait for him there. He'll be there in a minute. Bye.
The stalls are growing impatient, Beverly. Let's hear the second-rate masterpiece.
It's called What Am I to Do?
I to do towards endless madness, the sadness that's rendering me through. The flowers of yesteryear are haunting me, taunting, for darling, for wanting you. What am I to say to mornings of sorrow? When morning's tomorrow greets the dew, when I see the cosmic ritz shattered and scattered to bits, what not am I to do?
Oh, wonderful, Beverly, wonderful.
Beverly, it is superb. It's the best thing you've ever written.
Please, let me say that.
John.
Hello, Mr.
Sure.
Westcott.
Oh, come in, Westcott.
John, will you show them where to plug in? Mr. Westcott, will you go in there?
The airwaves, eh? Well, I shan't have to do it. I shall be on a train.
Come now, Beverly. You must say goodbye to Whiteside.
What is this nonsense? Maggie, Beverly, my left. God damn it, Maggie, I want to talk to Beverly.
You can kiss Beverly on July 12th in London.
I will not be dragged out of here like a baby that has to have his diapers changed.
Magpie, come get this.
Beverly, dear, I want 1 minute and I must have it. You'll make the train station in a minute and a half from here.
What's the matter, Magpie?
Beverly, I'm in great trouble.
What is it?
Go away!
I've fallen in love.
No!
Yes! For the first time in my life, Beverly, I'm in love. I can't tell you about it now. There isn't time. But Sherry's trying to break it up. In his own fiendish way, he's trying to break it up.
The old flounder. What's he doing?
Lorraine. He brought Lorraine here to kind of smash it up. You've got to help me, Beverly.
Of course I will, Magpie.
I need to get Lorraine out of here. The further away, the better. And you can do it for me.
How I'm leaving now.
What carbon of a broadcast in Scotland?
There's one on that table.
Thank you. One of the papers ate the original.
Here's what I want you to do.
I I love it. It simply bitches Sherry and Lorraine at the same time, and I shall do it up proud.
Darling, you're wonderful. The first baby will be named Beverly.
Oh, of course it will. Come to Chiswick for your honeymoon and I'll put you up. Goodbye, my lovely. I adore you.
Shall I straighten up the room for broadcasting, Scott?
No, thank you, John. It isn't television, thank God. They only get a liquid voice.
He's really wonderful, isn't he, Mr. Whiteside? All the things he finds time to do.
He certainly sticks his nose into everything, John.
The boys out there, Miss Conlon?
Yes, they are, Mr. Westcott.
Thank you.
Why, Miss June, are you going out?
No, Mr. Whiteside's in there, I suppose.
Yes, he's getting ready to go on break.
Oh, John, would you? Oh, never mind.
Where is he? The library?
Yes, he's busy.
Never mind. Come on, June, let's go.
Thank you, John. Hello, darling. Where's Sherry?
Inside, he's broadcasting very soon.
Christmas Eve. Yes. Now, what a wonderful man Sheridan Whiteside is. It must be such a joy working as a secretary for somebody like Sherry.
Yes, you mean such interesting people. You know, that's way down the road. Going somewhere?
Yes. No, I just threw in anything at all. Aren't you dressing for dinner?
No, just what meets the eye.
Who does your hair, Maggie?
You know, a little French woman named Maggie Cutler comes in every morning.
You know, every time I see your hair, I think it could be so wonderful. I'm dying to get my hands on it.
You know, Lorraine, I have always wanted to get mine on yours.
What dear? What time is Beverly getting here? I'm not over anxious to meet him.
Why, he's been gone, Lorraine.
Really? Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Oh, of course, you're great friends, aren't you, you and Beverly?
Yes, we are. I think he's a wonderful person.
Suppose he is, but when I finished acting with him, I was a perfect wreck. I mean, all during that tender love scene that the critics were raving about, he kept dropping peanut shells down my dress. I'd act him again if I was starving.
Tell me, Lorraine, have you found a new play yet?
Oh, no. I've got a pile of manuscripts waiting for me back in New York, but I just drop my bags and rush over here to see Sherry.
Yes, it was wonderful for your age. Just drop everything that way and rush to Sherry's wheelchair.
Really, darling, I just want to have this world of friends.
You know, that's what I always say. Everything okay?
How long will Sherry be in there?
Not long. You know, Jefferson has written quite a good play. The young man who drove you to the hotel last night.
Really? Isn't that interesting? I had no idea.
Isn't it?
You know, they've put a polish on my nails that I simply loathe. I don't suppose Elizabeth Arden has a branch in this town.
Not if she has any sense.
I guess I'll bear it, but it does depress me. Darling, have you read this? Everybody was reading on the boat. I hear you simply can't put it down.
You know, I put it down. Right there. Hello. Yes. Miss Lorraine Sheldon. Yes, she's here. There's a transfer
transatlantic call coming through for you, Lorraine. Transatlantic? It's London. London? Hello? Hello? Cedric! Darling, what a surprise! How did you know I was here? Darling, don't talk so fast if you want better so. Oh, yes, that's better. Much better, so you're right around the corner. Darling, would you wait just 1 minute for me? Maggie, dear, would you mind? It's Lord Bottomley, very personal call. Would you mind? Not at all, Lorraine. Now tell me, darling. Don't be nervous. Don't stutter so. Yes, that's better. Much better. Good. Oh, my darling! Oh, my sweet, you know how I breathe this every night on the boat! Oh, yes, 1,000 times, yes! Oh, you have made me the happiest girl in the world! I will be thinking of you every moment, my darlingest darling! Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, my darling. Sherry! Do you know what just happened? Lord Bottomley has called from London, and he has asked me to marry him.
What?
Oh, I'm so excited. I must get out of here immediately. Oh, Maggie, darling, can I catch the next plane? I've got to get back to England. What time is it? Is there a newspaper around? Why, the Queen Mary sails Friday. What's happened? Maggie, the most wonderful thing in the world has happened. Cedric called from London, and he's asked me to marry him. Really? Well, what do you know? Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly think. You have to help me get out of here immediately. Oh, I'd be delighted to, Lorraine. Thank you. We look this up right away.
Yes, I'm timesheet right here. And don't you worry, because if there's no train, I will drive you to Cleveland and you can catch the plane from there.
Darling, you're wonderful. Sherry, what's the matter with you? You haven't said a word. You haven't even congratulated me.
Let me understand this, Lorraine. Am I to gather from your girlish squeals that you are about to throw your entire career into the ash can?
Of course, I may not be able to play this season, but there'll be other seasons, Sherry.
I see. And everything goes into the ash can with it. Is that right?
You couldn't expect
You
me
did not explain, Lorraine. I understand all too well. And I also understand why Cornell remains the first actress of our theater.
Oh, this all works out so wonderfully. There's a plane out of Cleveland at 10:03. It takes about an hour to get there. Oh, why, it all just works out so wonderfully, doesn't it, Sherry dear?
Peachy!
What's the number of the hotel then, Matt? I've got my maid started packing.
The Sally 32.
The Sally 32, please. Let's see, the 5-day boat follows. That means I get to London.
Well, look at that. It's beginning to snow. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Sherry? Oh, I've never felt more like Christmas in my life, don't you, Sherry dear?
Shut your nasty little face!
Hello? Back to the house. Hello. Yes, this is Miss Lorraine Sheldon. Would you put me to my maid, please? Cassette? Now listen very carefully, Cassette. We're leaving Friday, so I want you to start packing immediately, and I'll call you back in an hour. Yes, that's right. Now I want you to send me these cables, please. Have you got a pencil? Right. You'll find the little addresses in my little address book. It's on my address in case. The first one goes from Lord and Lady Lord and Lady Connor, my darlings, returning Friday. Queen Mary said you and I be married immediately upon arrival. Wanted you to be the first to know. Love, Lorraine. No send. Oh, and send the same one to Lady Astor, Lord Beaverbrook, and my mother in Kansas City. Oh, and send another one to Hattie Carnegie. Meet me sure Netherlands noon tomorrow with sketches of bridal gown and trousseau. Cable me Queen Queen Mary. Lorraine Shelton. Yes. Okay, and send another one to Monsieur Pierre Potier of Paris, London. Would you hold and reserve for me the triple string of pearls I picked out in October? Here we Queen Mary. Lorraine Shelton. Have you got a string set? Thank you so very much. Okay, I'll call you about an hour, so be ready. Goodbye, Cassette. Cassette really is the most wonderful maid in the world. We could absolutely die without her. Oh, life really is just full of surprises. I mean, who would have thought an hour ago I would be married in London? An hour ago? No, I certainly wouldn't have thought it. An hour ago.
Good God, stop this female drooling. I have a violent headache.
Oh, Sherry, can I get you something? Look here, Sherry. I'm sorry if I have offended you, but after all, my life is my
Say,
own.
it's snowing. Gonna have a real old-fashioned Christmas, huh?
Oh, why don't you telephone your scoop to the New York Times?
First, Lorraine has to catch a train out of Cleveland at 10:03. Can we drive her over, you and I?
Why, certainly. No good, no bad news, I hope, Miss Sheldon.
On the contrary, wonderful news.
Yes, indeed. Close for a drink, I think. You're not being a very good host, Sherry. How about some champagne?
Oh, I'll do you one better. Make us all a Jefferson special. An old family recipe.
Yes, mix anything. Stop dribbling.
Does anyone admire my Christmas present yet, Maggie?
Oh, I completely forgot. Look, everybody, from Mr. Jefferson to me.
That is beautiful. Oh, and it's inscribed to Maggie. Long may she wave. Oh, that is beautiful. Isn't that beautiful, Sherry?
Ducky!
You see, Bert, I told you it's beautiful.
What's going on between you two anyhow? Like, are you hiding something from us?
Good God, will this dribble ever stop? My head is bursting.
The Jefferson special can cure anything. Oh, and by the way, I got a 2-minute interview with Beverly Carlton at the station. You're right, Mr. Whiteside. He's really something.
Bert, why don't you go mix those drinks?
On the fire, I was looking at him in 2 minutes. He's a telephone booth most of the time.
Bert, mix those drinks, why don't you?
All right. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but the face he was making looked like he was doing one of his first plays.
Goodness, mix those drinks.
A moment, Mr. Jefferson. Did you say Mr. Carlton was in a telephone booth at the station?
Yes, he just kept talking, making the damnedest faces.
Bert, my boy, I have a feeling I'm going to love the Jefferson special. Make me a double one, will you? My headache has gone with the wind.
All right.
Philo Vance is now at work. Hello? Operator here, tell me. Has there been any calls on this telephone from England within the past half hour? Yes, I'll wait.
Sherry? What is all this?
Shh! What's that? There haven't been any calls from England for the past 3 days? Blossom girl! Operator, would you repeat that, please? Hear it, dear? Thank you, operator, and a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Sherry? What is all that? What does that mean?
Means, my dear, that you just played the greatest love scene of your entire career. Your old friend, Beverly Carlton.
No, I was talking to Cedric. Sherry, what does this mean?
Means, my dear, that was Beverly you poured your girlish heart out to, not Lord Bottom. Why? You would have thought 5 minutes ago that you would not be going to London.
Sherry, I want this explained.
Explain? You heard the operator, dear. All I can tell you is that Beverly was just indulging in one of his famous acts of mimicry. That's all. What, you've heard him do Lord Bartley before, haven't you?
Yes, yes, of course, but why would he do such a thing? I mean, this is one of the most dreadful. God, those cables! God, those cables! Put me to the hotel, whatever it's called, I want the hotel phone! I will pay off this. It is the last thing that I do! God, the stuff! The nose! The tit! At the mansion house. Hello, yes, sir. To my maid, please. Who the hell do you think this is, Miss Shelley? Dang it! God, listen. Very carefully, Cassette, I want you to send another one of those cables to every one of those people and tell them that somebody has been using my name to disregard anything and everything that they hear from me except this. You're going to all do what we do as you're told and unpack. We're not going.
Now steady, my blossom. Take it easy.
What do you mean? Take it easy. Do you realize that I will be the laughing stock of England? God! I won't dare show my face. I mean, I can make moves low, but not this low. Do such a thing is not even funny. I mean, do you understand that, Clary? Do you, Maggie? I mean, you're been an hour ago. I just got off to the phone booth and tried to know what it was errand. God, it just does not make sense. There must have been some reason, or it does not make sense otherwise. There must have been something. I'm beginning to understand. It's a beautiful bracelet, isn't that, Maggie? Think that I knew it. Well, why the horses couldn't get me out of here now? It's a beautiful bracelet, isn't that, Maggie? If I were you, I would hold on to that bracelet, dear. It'd be a little something to remember him by. All right, Mr. Whiteside, almost time.
Here's your new copy.
How much time?
A couple more minutes.
Please. Here comes the Jeffersons. Oh, are we timed?
Oh, I'm sure we have plenty of time, Mr. Jefferson. My plans have changed, and I'm not leaving after all.
Really? That's great.
Yes, and I think you can a simply marvelous play. I want you to read it to me tonight. We'll go back to the mansion house after dinner and you'll read it to me.
Why, I can say so. I'd be delighted. Did you hear that, Maggie? Say, I bet this is all you're doing. You set the whole thing up. It's the best Christmas present I could have ever been given. Maggie? Maggie!
Mr. Whiteside!
Quiet!
My son's robbing a crater, and my daughter's marrying an anarchist!
Quiet, please!
They say you told them to do it.
Quiet, please! We're about to go on air!
Do not tell me to be quiet!
Quiet, for God's sake! Get out of my way! All right, boys, I'm done.
Oh, I see you're still busy. Cream of Mush presents to you Sheridan Whiteside.
This is Whiteside speaking. On this eve of Eve, my own heart is overflowing with peace and kindness. I find it fitting to tell once again the story of that once illustrious night, nigh on 2,000 years ago.
The penguin bit me!
One star of Bethlehem was a wondrous star. you run off to all the time, my lady Nausea?
Mr. Whiteside, I can't be in more than one place at a time.
That is very fortunate for this community.
Good morning, Mr. Whiteside. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, John.
Are you ready for breakfast, Mr. Whiteside?
No, I don't think I want to eat breakfast, John. Has Miss Cutler come down yet?
No. Call that better?
No, that's all right. That's all, John. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I'm taking the 1 o'clock train, Sherry. I'm leaving.
You are doing nothing of the kind.
Here are your keys, your wallet, the keys to the safe deposit alternative apartment in New York. I'll go in here now and pick things up.
Now just wait a minute, Miss Siddons. Where were you until 3 o'clock this morning? I was up half the night in this station wagon worried sick about you. You heard me when you came in. Why did you not answer me?
Look, Sherry, it's over, and I don't want to talk about it. You've won.
Come. What are you trying to do, Maggie? Make me feel like a naughty boy. Honestly, sometimes you can be very annoying.
You know, Sherry, you're quite wonderful in a way. You're annoying? Shall I tell you something, Sherry? I think you are a selfish, petty, egomaniac. I think you are incapable of feeling any human emotion higher up in yourself. I think you would sacrifice your mother if it was the only way you could light a cigarette. I think you would sacrifice your best friend if you got in this way of your sacred routine, of your self-centered, paltry little life. I was the whole of the world for ever thinking I could trust you.
For as long as I live, I will never do anyone a good turn again. I would ask you to apologize, Maggie, because in 6 months, you will be thanking me instead of berating me.
6 months, Sherry? I expect you so far away.
Hello? Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. I'm a little drunk, but I can explain everything. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Mr. Whiteside. Shake hands with the successful playwright. Where'd you go last night, Maggie? Where'd you run off to? I read Miss Sheldon the play, and she thought it was wonderful. She thought the whole thing was wonderful. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it's fine.
Isn't that wonderful, Mr. Whiteside?
Mr. Jefferson, I think you ought to go home, don't you?
What? No. This day of my life. I don't need drunk, but today's a big day. We're sitting over at Billy's Tavern all night. Never realized it was daylight until it was daylight. Maggie, Miss Sheldon says the play just needs a little bit of fixing. In 3 weeks, it's going to take me to a little place. She's got to be placid. Just 3 weeks. Been working the play together. Isn't that wonderful? Why don't you say something, Maggie?
Listen, Bert. I think you should tell us all about this some other time.
Oh, excuse me. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
God bless us all. Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas, Dr. Bradley. Doctor, would you do me a favor? I think Mr. Jefferson would like some black coffee and a little breakfast. Would you take care of him, please?
Yes, of course.
Doctor, I'm going to buy breakfast for you. Biggest breakfast you ever had.
Yes, Jefferson.
You know what, Doc? Let's climb down a couple chimneys. I got a friend who doesn't believe in Santa Claus. Let's climb down his chimney and frighten the hell out of him.
Now, I am willing to forgive your tawdry outburst and talk to you about this calmly.
Sherry, I love him so terribly. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? Merry Christmas, dear Mr. Whiteside. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Miss Stanley.
No, you see, I'm afraid I shouldn't be
dear Mr. Whiteside, my brother, he's terribly angry. Oh, but I just couldn't resist asking, did you like my Christmas present?
I'm very sorry, Miss Stanley. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't opened any of my presents.
Oh, dear, I'm so afraid. Oh, it's right here, dear Mr. Whiteside. Oh, won't you open it now?
Thank you again, Miss Stanley. This is very thoughtful of you. Why, Miss Stanley, it's wonderful. I'm very fond of these old photographs. Thank you very much.
I was 22 and that was taken. Oh, that was my favorite dress. I'm afraid I shall be late for church. Goodbye, dear Mr. Whiteside. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Stanley.
There's got a little question. He's just taking it out here.
Thank you, John. Miss Green! Miss Green!
Sir,
Get the door, will you? John's upstairs.
who is it?
Pollyanna!
Oh my, Mr. Whiteside! Mr. Whiteside!
Between the side, Mr. Whiteside.
Mr. Whiteside, I'm afraid!
Let go of that woman! That is my nurse, you mental delinquent.
Come to my room in half an hour. Please ride.
Really, Mr. Whiteside?
Whiteside, I'm here to spend Christmas with you. Give me a kiss.
Get away from me, you reform school fugitive. How did you get here?
Dale's in on me a reindeer. Whiteside, we finished shooting the picture yesterday, and I'm on my way to Nova Scotia. Flew here in 12 hours. On an airplane from Halifax. Whiteside, I brought you a wonderful little Christmas present. This brassiere once belonged to Heidi Lamont.
Listen, you idiot. How long can you stay?
Just long enough to take that as a sin. I'm on my way to Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia? What are you going to Nova Scotia for?
I'm sick of Hollywood. There's a day in New York I don't want to see. So I figured I'd go to Nova Scotia to get some smoked salmon. Now, where's Maggie? I want to see it.
Listen, Banjo. I'm glad you're here. I'm very upset with Maggie. Very.
What's the matter? Hey, what is this? I thought you could walk.
I've been fine for weeks. That's not the point. I'm furious with Maggie. You know how fond I am of her. Well, after all this time, she's repaying me by behaving like some fishwife.
What are you talking about?
But I never believed for one moment she was really in love with him.
In love with who? I just got here, remember?
Listen, you Hollywood nitwit. I'm a young newspaperman in this town.
Maggie finally fell, huh? What's that like?
Listen. Lorraine Sheldon happened to come out to spend Christmas with me.
Oh, hi. Yeah?
Listen. This newspaperman, he's written a play. I'm sure you can guess the rest. Lorraine's taking him away this afternoon to rewrite. Maggie's in there and she's crying her eyes out.
Gee. Yeah. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the glamorous, glitzy, fantabulous Lorraine Sheldon just happens to come out here and visit you and drink the old Visalia? I smell rat, Sherry, rat in a wheelchair.
All right. But I did it for Maggie. I thought it was the right thing for her.
Oh, sure. You never thought yourself for years. Poor kid. Can I go and talk to her?
I don't think that's a good idea, Banjo.
This guy she likes. Any way we can get a hold of her?
Hold on a minute. We don't want any phony warrants or you pretend to be J. Edgar Hoover. I've been through all of that with you before. I've got Lorraine out here. I need to get her away.
It's got to be good, Sherry. Lorraine is no go. But there must be something we can do to get her out of here like a bat out of hell. Say, wait a minute. What about that fellow over in England she's so crazy about? Lord Danny or whatever his name is. No, Bottomley. That's it, Bottomley.
No, Banjo, no.
No, you don't catch on. See,
We sent the rain, cable me.
I sent on, Banjo. The rain caught on too. It's been tried.
Oh, well, good, Mogul. This means you've got a tough proposition on your hands.
The problem is there's so damn little time. Get out of my chair! The rain is taking away this afternoon. Damn! I've done the job too good. Hell and damnation.
Stuck, huh?
In the words of one of our greatest lyric poets, you've said it.
Well, don't worry, Whiteside. We're gonna get Lorraine out of here if I have to do it one piece at a time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. I've got something for you. Mr. Whiteside, it was for you.
Never mind him, Sarah. He's quite mad.
Come, Ragusa, we shall dance in the snow.
Mr. Whiteside!
He's harmless, Sarah. Just give him some breakfast. What exactly does this mean?
It means, Mr. Whiteside, that I'm leaving. My address is on the desk inside. You can send me a check.
You realize, Miss Green, that this is completely unprofessional?
I do indeed. I became a nurse, Mr. Whiteside, because all my life I was filled with the idea of serving a suffering humanity. After 1 month with you, Mr. Whiteside, I'm going to work in a munitions factory. Anything I can do to help exterminate this awful human race will fill me with the greatest of pleasure. If Florence Nightingale had nursed you, Mr. Whiteside, she would have married Jack the Ripper instead of founding the Red Cross. Dick.
Mr. Stanley is not with you. He's brought you back. Oh, thank goodness, thank goodness. Achoo, yes. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I can say. Oh, and you're not married, are you?
No, Mother, and please don't be hysterical.
Oh, June. Oh, can I have anyone with that dreadful boy? Oh, thank goodness you stopped it, Ernest. How did you do it?
Never mind that, Daisy. Just bring him upstairs. I have something to say to Mr. Whiteside.
Father, haven't we had enough melodrama? I don't have to be taken upstairs. I'll go upstairs. Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. It looks bad for John L. Lewis. Now come on, Mother. Lock me in my room.
Now, June, you will feel much better after a nice, long, warm bath. Have you eaten?
I'm pleased to inform you, sir, that your plans for my daughter have gone trifle awry. She will not, nor will she ever, be married to that labor agitator you so kindly picked out for her. As for my son, he's been apprehended and will be brought home within the hour. Not having your gift for invective, sir, I cannot think what I possibly think of your obnoxious interference in my affairs. But I have arranged you will interfere no longer. Come in, gentlemen! Mr. Whiteside, these gentlemen are deputy sheriffs. They've given me a warrant by which I'm unable to put you out of this house. And any harm to add will be the greatest moment of my life. I'm going to give you 15 minutes in which to pack up and leave. If you're not gone by then, these men will forcibly eject you. You gentlemen, please get outside. 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. And that means bag, baggage, wheelchair, penguins, octopus, and cockroaches. I am now going upstairs to smash our radio so they never may hear your dreadful voice again.
Sure you don't want my autograph, old fellow?
15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
Say, Chief Hancock. Well, Whiteside, I didn't get an idea. Any news from the front?
Yes. The enemy is at my rear and nibbling.
Yeah. And where'd you say Maggie was? There?
It's no use, Banjo. She's taking the 1 o'clock train out.
She's leaving you? After all these years, she's leaving you?
She is.
That means we've got till precisely 1 o'clock to do something.
No, dear. We have exactly 15 minutes.
15 minutes. What do you mean 15 minutes, Sherry?
In exactly 15 minutes, baby's rosy little body's being thrown out in the snow. Mine host has issued out a warrant. I'm being kicked out.
I have never heard of such a thing in my life. Why would you do something like that?
Never mind that. The point is, we have exactly 15 minutes. Banjo, Master is growing a bit impatient.
And thought of any cards on the table with Lorraine?
Banjo, you know Dream Girl as well as I do. What do you think?
Lorraine.
Banjo, go in and talk to Maggie for a moment. I need to think.
If I knew where Lorraine was, I could get a car and run her over. It wouldn't hurt her that much.
Please, Banjo, I need to think.
Okay. Pardon me, miss. Is this YMCA? No, idiot. Sorry, Mr. Whiteside. Didn't make it very far.
I'm very sorry, Richard. I'm very sorry indeed. I wish I were in a position to.
Well, you are not in position, sir.
Thank you, officer. Here's something for your troubles.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Will you go upstairs, please, Richard? "10 minutes, Mr. Whiteside."
I brought you a glass of orange juice, Mr. Whiteside. Feeling any better?
Superb, John. Is there any cyanide in this orange juice? Hit the door, John.
Yes, sir.
It's probably some mustard gas from an old friend.
Say, that crazy fellow made quite a hit, sir. He wants to give her a screen test.
Good morning. Is Mr. Whiteside up yet?
Yes, he is, Mr. He's very good.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. Merry Christmas. I've come to have Christmas breakfast with you, may I?
Of course, my sprite. John, a tray for Miss Sheldon. Better make it 1-minute eggs.
It really is the most beautiful Christmas morning. The snow is absolutely glistening, and it's too bad you can't get out.
Oh, I'm sure I'll see a bit of it. Well, I hear you're off for Lake Placid, dear. What time do you leave?
How did you know? Did Bert tell you?
Oh, you rolled in a little while ago. Worked rather fast, didn't you, dear?
The play is fantastically good. I've absolutely swept off my feet. You know, it's really one of those parts that only comes around once in 10 years. I really must thank you. Sometimes it feels as though you're the only friend I have in the world.
Thank you, my dear. What time did you say you were leaving? You and Jefferson?
I think maybe 4 o'clock, but apart from all things else, you're just really quite attractive and makes rather pleasure squaring this little Miss Vitriol. No, everything worked out so beautifully. I will take you the most amazing Christmas present you have ever received. It can be anything. I'm just so deliriously.
Oh, that's so funny.
That sounds like Banjo. Is he here?
Yes. Yes, he is. Just a family circle gathering for Christmas. Wow, how time flies when you're having fun.
Why you won't, sweetie pants? How are ya?
Very well, thank you. And you, Banjo?
Oh, fine. Hey, how's the mattress business going around?
Very funny. It's too bad your pictures aren't as funny as you think you are, Banjo.
Got me there, Mama. Any news in the wind, Whiteside?
Not a glimmer.
What time does the ship sail?
Exactly 10 minutes.
What boat is this?
Oh, good ship.
I'm the staircase at the music broadcast. Wasn't there a schedule on that?
Yes, I think it's over there somewhere.
Thank you. Did you see? Oh, Bert and I will be here from the placid. You've been to that cottage up there, haven't you? Just apart from everything else in the clear and cold night. That must be Brooke now. I told him to meet me here. You know, I'm really quite excited for this placid. Brooke's the type of man to do winter sports. You too.
Will he get time?
All right. Come ahead. Careful now.
What in time?
It's for you, Mr. Whiteside.
Careful then. Now, don't stick around. Okay, right there. Sherry, what is this?
Why, if there was one thing I needed right now, it was the Egyptian mummy.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside, we can leave with you. What'd you say, the French room?
5 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. Including that.
Who is that man? What was that about?
He announces the time to me every 5 minutes. I pay him a small sum.
But what on earth for, Sherry?
I lost my watch.
Oh, excuse me. I see you're busy, Mr. Whiteside.
Great God.
Pardon me. I'll wait in here. As a new chaplain, look at me.
Was that the plumber again, Sherry? God, I wonder what time Bert is coming. Darling, you're probably bubbling over on Christmas. What's the matter with you? And who sent this to you anyway? The Khedive of Egypt? You know, I think it's rather beautiful. I absolutely must go to Egypt someday. I'm sure I would love it. You know, the first night I went to Pompeii, I cried all night. I mean, all those people, all those lives. What remains of it now? I spent 4,000 years here utterly eternity of time. Don't you think about that, Sherry? Here was a woman like myself who lived and loved, full of the same passion, fears, and jealousies, and what remains of it? Just this and nothing more. I just want to cry. Everybody mustn't talk that way. It's Christmas, darling. It's Christmas.
Lorraine, my dear. Have you ever played St. Joan?
No, why'd you ask that?
There was something about your expression in that case. There was an absolute halo about you. Step into it again, dear.
Sherry, you're gushing me, aren't you?
Lorraine, I do not take these things lightly. There was a strange beauty about you, pure Da Vinci. Please, step into it again.
Well, I don't know what it was that I did exactly, but no, I feel too silly.
Lorraine, in that one moment, you approached the epitome of your art. You should not be ashamed of it. You asked me a little while ago what I wanted for Christmas. Well, the only thing that I want, Lorraine, is the memory of you in that mummy case.
I'm all choked up. Dust thou art, and dust to
Eureka! That sound is for you, Mr. Whiteside!
Is she all right in there?
Sorry, she can breathe easy. I'll let her out as soon as we get on the plane. Now we just have to worry about getting this thing out.
One thing at a time, that's the next step.
Think fast, Captain, think fast.
Everything. And that's everything. I'm leaving 3 carbons. Is anything out here? Do you want these letters? How about this picture?
No, throw everything away. Actually, wait. Give me that picture. I want that picture.
See you before I go, Benjo.
See you, maybe.
I got it.
Come on, look.
I knew I had seen that face before. Now I know how we're getting this out of here.
What face and how?
Time's up, Mr. Whiteside. 15 minutes.
Yes. Mr. Stanley. 15 minutes. But one more thing before I go. Would you mind asking those officers in here again? Asking them if they would escort this gentleman here. This mummy case down to the airport. Would you be good enough to do that, Mr. Stanley?
Nothing of the kind, sir.
Well, I think you will, Mr. Stanley. Or should I inform my radio audience on my next broadcast that your sister, Harriet Stanley, is none other than Harriet Sedley, who 25 years ago murdered her mother and father with an axe in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Now, it's a small favor, Mr. Stanley. Would you rather have the good people of Masada repeating on your very doorstep that once popular little jingle? Harriet Sedley took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when the job was nicely done, she gave her father 41.
Mr. Whiteside, you're the damnedest person I've ever met.
You're a little late in finding that out. Officers! Officers, would you come in here, please? Mr. Stanley wants you to escort this gentleman with this case down to the airport. He's sending it to a friend in Nova Scotia.
Clint.
Right, Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Oh, be careful, gentlemen.
Whiteside, you're a great man.
Banjo, you're wonderful. I may write a book about you.
Oh, don't bother. I can't read. Goodbye, Maggie. Love time is all. Don't drop that against your wood. It contains an antique.
Sherry! Sherry, was that?
It was a little Christmas gift for you.
Sherry, you remember me!
My hat and coat, Maggie. I'm off to New York.
Are you leaving, Sherry?
Don't argue, rat girl. Do as you're told.
Yes, Mr. Whiteside.
Mr. Whiteside, I'd like to apologize. Hey,
Think nothing of it, Jefferson. There's been a change of plans. Miss Sheldon's off on a world cruise. I'm sending your play to Catherine Porter. Miss Cutler will explain everything.
Maggie.
Thank you, my dear.
Mr. Whiteside, are you very busy?
Yes, Doctor. Very busy. But if you're ever in New York, try and find me. Goodbye, my darling. I love you very much.
Sherry, you're wonderful.
Nonsense. Goodbye, Jefferson. You'll never know the trouble you've caused. And goodbye, Mr. Stanley. I would like to hear, in the near future, that your daughter has married her young man and that your son has been allowed to follow his bet. Or else. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Maggie, what's going on? Where's he? I didn't even know he could walk.
Don't worry, Bert. Just don't ask questions. You're too young to know.
Yes. Richard is being extremely difficult upstairs. Will you please talk to him?
Ah! God damn it!
Something's happened.
What the hell?
Oh, God. Miss Freed! Miss Freed! I want Miss Freed there!
It's all right, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh!
For OBP, it means a lot to us.
that they were big deal. Worked very hard. I mean, just bring what you see. I mean, there's the posters out there. Lauren Wicks, come on, like penguin. But I really, really enjoy this. I am going to miss seeing you and living next year. Party.
Alright, our next rose goes to Wolfie Valga, and it will be presented by Sam Hart.
Far from being a talented actor, as you have all just discovered, Whoopi Goldberg is also a marvelous person. When I first read this published, I was a tiny freshman and didn't know him. Whoopi was so welcoming and kind. He was the first person I thought. Whoopi is an extremely kind and caring person who I'm overjoyed to have the opportunity and great honor to perform with. Whoopi, we'll never know how much I love you. Not only as a performer, but simply as a person. You have made my OBP experience an absolute joy. I'm sorry to see you go a great year. I don't know what this club will do, but I hope you continue on to do great things and achieve your goals. For these reasons more, it's a great honor to serve your relationship. Thank you.
Alright, this next rose goes to Aaron Schultz, and is being presented by Sabrina Averill Park.
We first met in first grade 2 years ago, but there's one memory I was easily remember, and it's when we did an interpretive dance for Broadway. So I thought you were super cool. Fast forward a couple years, we have done other stuff together, and now it's honestly excited you're cool and sweet since the dance was so. You have not only made an impact on us by your organization and dedication, but to us all. Well, you showed us we can still have some things amazing, while also putting in hard work and doing the job. And with this, I can speak for the rest of us in the college, and say you're the type of person to have a good friend, and I'm sure that they're listening. We're also excited to see what you're going to accomplish in the future. And just know you're always going to have a spot for you.
Our next rose goes to Julia Skiba, presented by Ellie Garrison.
The first time I met Julie Skibo was over
3 years ago, and I knew right away I wanted to be your friend. I was her #1 fan, and I still am. Every time I saw her, she had the most welcoming presence, positive attitude, and let's be honest, we all wanted to dress like her, especially me. Now that I have the pleasure to know Julia and call her my friend, I can tell you all that I thought of her is true and more. Julia not only is kind, funny, and extremely well dressed, but also ridiculously talented. She's an incredible singer, an even more amazing actress, a wonderful friend, and somehow she manages to fit at least 4 more things into her schedule after doing that. Her ability to lighten a room just by walking in is unmatched, and she is incredible to work with. I know I learned a lot, not only with acting, but attitude in the short time I've had with her. Julia, you will be missed so much next year when you're off continuing to do amazing things. I'm honored to have gotten to know you, and I wish you the best in everything you attempt. Love you, Jules.
Next up, we have Logan Powell, who is going to be presented by Averill Park.
Man, what to say about Logan Powell? I met him at auditions just a few short months ago. So I can't say I know all that much about him. We haven't really been together long enough, but I do know this, including the fact that he is a great actor, he is encouraging, and I think that we can all say he is highly funny. But most of all, he's kind and supportive, and it has been my absolute honor to act alongside him. The best of luck in your future endeavors, Logan Powell, both in acting and beyond.
Our next rose goes to Kit. I'm going to butcher this. Orolokio. You told me earlier. I don't know. And will be presented by Kevin Clark.
Hello. What, you want me to be on this side? So, this is Kit. I didn't write it down, but something I remembered recently was that I used to be on the same bus as Kit in like kindergarten. It's like 10 years ago. It's just something fun. So, Kit has grown so much. I've seen you since kindergarten. I mean, I know I don't really know you now, and I didn't really know you then, but all of the memories I have with you, incredible. You've been an awesome member of OBP, and, well, I hope you've had a wonderful time here, and we've loved having you.
All right, this next one's going to hurt a little bit. Our next rose goes to Michaela Kylie, and it will be presented by her sister, Izzy.
I'd like to apologize in advance. I wasn't sure how sappy I was supposed to make this, so I just went away. Michaela, the thought of writing this and speaking it is so scary. Not because I'm in front of a lot of people, or because I'm afraid of crying in front of everyone, but because standing on the stage is the most surreal life has felt in a while. It's because writing this and saying it means it's really happening. You're leaving. You're leaving, and we won't be 30 seconds away from each other at all times. You're leaving, and we can't listen to pop music at 6 in the morning. You're leaving, and I can't run to find you when I breathe funny in the middle of the afternoon. And that is genuinely terrifying. The thought of you not being right next to me to hold my hand and get me through the day is a terrifying thought. You've always been my number one person. I've lost my spot. I have never and will never love anyone more than I will always love you. From my Barbie's shirt getting torn to my first real heartbreak, you have held me. You have held me together, and I was convinced I was literally falling apart at the seams, and have stitched me by hand until I could walk on my own again. Though I never really have been on my own. Even when I hold myself up without you next to me, you have been there cheering from the sidelines, letting me know that you are there for me to lean on when I get tired. You are my soulmate, two souls that understand each other more than anyone else ever will. You going to college is the scariest thought in the entire universe, but it is definitely not the end of anything. It is simply the beginning of a new life. A new way of living that is unusual and horrifying, but not bad. I have looked up to you my whole life and strived to be one half of what you are. I know you are going to do incredible things, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish. But still, we are growing up. You are leaving home, and I won't be able to see you every day. We won't live under the same roof, and we will be on our own, but we will always have each other. No matter how far you go, I will always be within reaching distance. You are my forever best friend, my soulmate, and my sister.
Hold on. Our next rose goes to Sophia Minich and is presented by Peyton Santacruz.
Okay, that one was emotional. Okay. Sophia, has been a pleasure to work with you this year. I've loved working with you, and it's sad that we will not be able to continue working together. You and I both had supporting roles in the fall show, She Kills Monsters. I wouldn't want to have that role with anybody else. You and I bonded at first over Dancing Conan Gray, and how we both wanted to see him in concert. You were the first upperclassman that I warmed up to, and I was so glad that I did. I always enjoyed talking to you during rehearsals as well as working with you on stage. I wish you the best in college and beyond. I know that you said you weren't going to cry, so hopefully this is emotional now. Your years have meant so much to OBP, and we wish you the best. Thank you for all that you have done on behalf of myself and the rest of the club. We thank you and wish you the best. And remember to keep dancing and have a good taste in music.
All right. Next up, we have Emily Walsh, whose rose will be presented by Marissa Bertos.
I'm only a freshman, but in the short time I've been here, Emily has always been a shining beacon of happiness. It is rare that she's not smiling, and through the highest stress of Tech Week, that smile did not fade. Emily's kindness is felt by all of the club, and her generosity does not go unnoticed by anyone. She is thoughtful, caring, and never lets a problem go unsolved. Emily has been an essential part of OBP. She's the literal backbone of every show we do, and we could not do it without her. Her creativity and skill in costuming gives the show a greater sense of realism while still having, AP charm. She is such an amazing actress, and her stage presence is awe-inspiring. I look up to her a ton. I did not know many people coming into OBP this year. One of the first people that talked to me was Emily. She made me feel very welcome in OBP, and since then, she's been a huge role model for me. Her optimism has caused me to be more of a positive thinker when it comes to the show and everyday problems. She also inspired me to be interested in costuming and even being an officer in the club. I am grateful I had the chance to get to know you, Emily, and I'm honored to be your senior rose.
Our next rose goes to Anna Zusi and is presented by Megan Rounds.
I first met Anna in this year's cabaret and immediately noticed how incredibly talented she was. I am proud of you for everything you have done in your high school career, and I can't wait to see where life takes you. I'm going to miss you doing my makeup so much before the shows next year, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better just to be able to sit and talk to you before a show. I wish you the best of luck as you're beginning your next chapter in life. You're an amazing singer, and I hope you never give that up. I love you, Anna, and you'll be missed by everyone in OBP. I wish you the best of luck as you continue on after high school, and congratulate you for everything you've accomplished.
Our second to last rose goes to Sonia Kai and is presented by Evelyn Mustachio.
I'm kind of unsure what to say. I'm kind of been here long, but you're the first one to teach me everything about the tech that I know.
I'm gonna really miss you because I feel like I've known you for a long time, even if it's been a short amount of time. And it's kind of sad, but also happy because you're gonna be having a happy time after high school. And I'm gonna really miss you.
Our last senior rose goes to Ashley Bayer and will be presented by me. Ashley, my first interaction with you was during my first cabaret. You sang a solo called Still Hurtin', which is ingrained in my memory. I remember thinking how cool you looked, probably because you had so much confidence and anyone standing on a stage by themselves was insane to freshman me. I really wanted to be your friend. Fast forward to this year and my wish came true. We bonded over fried pickles at recovery room. Hold it together, didn't we, Ashley? Stood in the hallway before trouble talking about how crazy the final episode of Euphoria season 2 was. We were best friends in Chico's Monsters and finally sisters in Cabaret. Throughout this year, I have learned what a caring, talented, and hilarious person you are. I don't know who I'm going to listen to when I'm in trouble and have no clue what the harmony is, but I can't wait to see where life takes you, and I know you're going to do great things. I hope that when you make it big and are taking a bow on a Broadway stage, proving to us that we haven't seen the last of you yet, you remember all of us here at OBP. I hope you remember the fried pickles and the crazy warm-ups and the songs you sang on this stage. I love you so much and I wish you the best of luck on your journey. Ashlyn, aka your long-lost sister. Can I have all of our seniors up here for their final bow? On 3, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Now we have to get out of costume and do a few other things, but we will be out shortly.
All right.